Alright, so before I get into the actual book review today, I want to give you a little bit of my history with the book before I read it. I decided to start YouTube back in December and created the account, waited to get my camera back, and then started filming in about mid-January. During the time between deciding to do BookTube and actually doing BookTube, I watched videos. One of the books that almost every YouTuber had in their arsenal was TFiOS. And I have to be honest, I didn't want to read this book. I didn't want to read it because it is not my genre. My genre, for the most part, is high fantasy, some sci-fi thrown in. I don't particularly like contemporary. So I saw everyone giving great reviews of this book, and I didn't want to read it. I knew that I would eventually because of the great views, but I just didn't want to. And then a couple of months ago or so, my younger sister told me that she read the book, and she told me that I needed to read it. My sister and I don't always see eye to eye on books, so when she told me that I needed to read this book, I got to thinking, okay, well, I guess I really must read it. And because I'm a true book fan, I will read the book before I see the movie. And then, out of the blue, one of my old friends from high school sent me a text saying that she read the book and that I needed to read the book. So that's two people who know me who have told me that this is a great book and that I need to read it, and all of the YouTube community. And because this book is being turned into a movie, Walmart started selling it. I picked it up on my lunch break and started reading it. Got about 70 pages into it and decided it was worth buying to take it home and finishing it. I got home, started reading it, finished it about 3 hours later. I read the whole book in about 4.5 to 5 hours. The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. After reading this book, I have only one thing that I really want to say about it. I love this book. I absolutely love this book. The book itself is really realistically written. The writing style is beautiful, and the characters are quirky in a way that you only would get in this world and not in high fantasy. Not a lot of books make me cry. I can count it on one hand, the number of books that have made me cry when I read them. And this is one of them. The main basis of this book is that Hazel, the main character, has been diagnosed with terminal cancer. We know from the very start that it's just a matter of time before she dies. Her mom thinks that she's depressed and makes her go to a support group. And while she is at that support group, she meets a boy, Augustus Waters. His cancer is in remission, and they start dating, and they fall in love. And the whole time, Hazel is worrying over the fact that she has terminal cancer. She knows she's going to die, and she doesn't want more people loving her because she doesn't want them to hurt when she's gone. We do lose a character in this book, and it is very, very sad. The character dies, and I was crying. Not sobbing tears, but they were flowing. And it gets to the point where Hazel's father joins her when she's kind of locked herself away to kind of be alone after this death, and he offers his understanding. That understanding that he shows her in that moment is what made me bawl my eyes out. I had to put the book down because I couldn't continue. This book was amazing in ways that I can't even put into words, and I would recommend this book to anyone. And you can bet that I am going to be going and seeing the movie June 6th when it comes into theaters. I think that with the combination of this book and Wonder, which I read earlier in the year, both of them have been so good that I'm going to have to pick up more contemporary books. I want to end this video with my favorite quote from the book. On Tumblr, there is a book photo challenge going on. This quote was the one that I used for day 3. But it is the nature of stars to cross, and never was Shakespeare more wrong than when he had Cassius note, "The fault, dear Brutus, is not in our stars, but in ourselves."